You think you know me?
What's going on, guys? I am your head Smacktivist Wes, and today we are going to be talking about Tuesday night's episode of Smackdown Live, which was the 900th episode of Smackdown in general, and they kept saying the 900th episode of Smackdown Live. I counted 8 times I said that. It's like the 13th episode of Smackdown Live, but the 900th of Smackdown itself. We had the return of the Hall of Famer Edge, and we had the return of the Undertaker, the Dead Man. Welcome to Smacktivism, guys. I'm your Smacktivist Wes, like I said, and I'm going to tell you a little about what I think, a lot about how I feel about Tuesday night's episode of Smackdown Live, which had a lot of good, some bad, but a lot of good. So let's get started. The show starts off with Shane and Daniel Bryan opening the show. Shane comes out, Daniel Bryan comes out, yes, 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 I hate that crap. They come out, they ramble on and on and on and on, and then they talk about how the Undertaker's good in attendance. They talk about how Edge is in attendance, and then they go ahead and get started with The Miz versus Ziggler. That was a great match. I liked this episode of SmackDown because there wasn't a lot of filler matches. There wasn't a lot of matches, really, at all. So this match was a good way to start it, gets the crowd interested, and The Miz won. I was thrilled to see The Miz win. I could see him being the one who loses at Survivor Series now, just because it's heel versus face. I don't know how they're going to do with that. I mean, they do this with Ziggler. Every couple years, they give him this push, then they expect him to run with it, and he just is unable to because he's not that good anymore. He's old. And so The Miz won the Intercontinental title from Ziggler. I love that. I do think he's probably going to be the one who loses it, Survivor Series, but we'll see on Sunday what happens. Fast forward to that awkward Alexa Bliss, Daniel Bryan segment, and then Coach Natalia comes in and blows her whistle, and just an odd segment, but Alexa, as usual, saves the segment. She's so good. I love her, man. And then we get Kalisto versus current NXT superstar Mr. Oney Lorcan, who got a jobber entrance. I'm fine with that. Basically a squash match for Kalisto, get him a little bit of momentum, heading towards the Cruiserweight showdown between him and the Brian Kendrick. After that match, the camera goes to Undertaker's hat, and then he grabs it. I'm getting a Wyatt family feel with these kind of vignettes, and I don't like it. SmackDown Live tag teams in that group have a meeting. Heath Slater and Rhino bring none other than King Booker, a SmackDown icon of some sort, to give them a pep talk, and then the Fashion Police, Tyler Breeze and Don come in dressed like cops, and it's just all bad. It's just they earn the right to lose first at Survivor Series. And then we have the Carmella versus Bella match, and that was the worst set of the jobber entries that I've ever seen. So Nikki's entrance was already happened, and then I got back from commercial in the middle of Carmella's entrance. It was weird. I mean, I'm thinking maybe it was something wrong with the TV signal or something, but it didn't work. It was a pretty good match, actually. The Raw Survivor Series team showed up and started attacking Nikki, yada, yada, yada. Nia Jax ran through the barricade, and I'm pretty sure the barricade is still flying somewhere. Yeah, like I said, these Undertaker things in the backstage, yeah. It gives me like a Kurt Hawkins kind of feel, like I'm going to see the Undertaker's face randomly. Smackdown tag match was for the teams from the Survivor Series match, managed by Slater and Rhino, versus 4 teams who aren't in that. American Alpha got over in that match because apparently they're the only team in that division who really matters. And then finally we get to the cutting edge, and before I say anything, they did Edge a terrible disservice. They made Edge into the side act for The Undertaker. Now I understand, The Undertaker is one of the biggest superstars that WWE has ever had. I get that. But don't waste Edge then on the same segment, because Edge got to get a couple one-liners, got a cool entrance, and then it was all Undertaker. I mean, I didn't like it. Like, Edge is someone who is beloved by the fans. I want more Edge. I should have gotten an Edge cutting edge, and then an Undertaker thing at the very end. I'm down with that. Side note, though, Edge came out, and he looked like a caveman. I guess it makes sense, you know, he just had another kid with Beth Phoenix. So, I guess it makes sense, but he's got the long beard. He looks like a caveman. He kind of looks like me. Or I look like him. But he's much more handsome than I am, and much cooler. He's a rated R superstar. Or as Tony Chan would say, the rated R superstar! In that cutting edge episode, or segment, whatever you want to call it, Edge says that he bleeds blue and that he helped make the Smackdown brand. And Edge's voice and his ability to give a promo is still up there with the best. But I did see that James Ellsworth was wearing red boots. Does that mean maybe he is a secret agent for Raw? Maybe, who knows? Will we find out on Sunday? Probably. There's no way that match ends in a clean finish. I'm predicting that Raw wins, and it's going to be pretty dirty. Someone somewhere is going to turn on SmackDown. Whether it's Shane or Ellsworth or something is going to happen to make it a really dirty finish. And then, I love AJ Styles, but he had to ruin that great Ellsworth Edge moment. Ellsworth was like, wow, I'm seeing one of my favorite wrestlers ever, and AJ had to ruin it. AJ had to go be Healy. I get it. That's what he does. He's the face that runs the place and says no one cares about Edge. And then Edge looks at Randy Orton, goes, hey, Randy, my old partner from Rated RKO. He asks Orton if he's there. He's like, are you in there somewhere? And then Randy just kind of looks at him, and then the Rated R superstar asks if he needs Bray to pull the strings in order for him to talk, and then Bray Wyatt gives this usual Wyatt promo that says we'll be getting a version of the Viper that we haven't ever seen. So if that means he's back, like, punting people in the head, I'm so down. Probably not, because I think that move's illegal now. But beside the point, and then the Undertaker, gong, and then the Undertaker walks slowly to the ring. I'm pretty sure that at this point he's walking that slow because that's just like the speed he walks at. Like, I'm pretty sure that's his natural speed in which he walks now. He looked unhealthy. He looked like he was hurting. And he was talking like this, because I'm the dead man. That's okay. I love The Undertaker. I think it's time for him to hang it up, but I love the guy. Taker tells Shane that he thinks that Shane has zero fear in him because he fought him in Hell in a Cell, and he saw firsthand what Shane was willing to be doing. And Undertaker says WrestleMania isn't what is defining of his career at this point, since he's lost the streak. He said that that's not what defines him. He says, and I quote, he is back taking souls and digging holes. So if that means The Undertaker's back as a quote-unquote full-time performer on SmackDown, no. I'm going to veto that one. I'm going to shoot that down, and I'm going to rag on it every episode of Smacktivism if it's true, because The Undertaker is nowhere near healthy enough to wrestle a full-time schedule. He can't even wrestle his one WrestleMania. Okay, I'm I'm not going to rant. I love The Undertaker. I don't want this to sound like I don't like him. So I'm going to stop. Undertaker says that Survivor Series is where he was made and that Smackdown is where he was always felt home at. And I got to agree. He's right. He says that they don't have any reason to fear failure. But he said if they lose to Team Raw, they will have a reason to fear The Undertaker. So the crowd is marking out at this point, as they should be. And then Undertaker says that Team Raw better rest in peace. And then his gong hits, and then he leaves. And actually, after the TV ended, the fans there got to see Kane and Undertaker have a reunion up at the top, and they did their little fist in the air thing. It's a cool moment, man. I love it. So, all in all, I gotta say this episode of SmackDown Live was actually really good. It was a good 900th episode. They brought in people who were very influential in the forming of SmackDown, with King Booker, The Undertaker, and Edge, who really carried that show from about 2006 until it just became basically a redo of Raw every week. It was actually a really good show. I'm excited for Survivor Series this weekend, so that's all I've got to say about this week's SmackDown. So make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel to see what else we got coming out. We got Monday Night Raw reviews. We have the best show on the channel, Smacktivism, and then we usually do a pay-per-view themed show about either predictions or in or out or whatever, so we'll be getting that out hopefully either tomorrow or Saturday. It is Thursday I'm recording this. So, yeah, so if you guys have any ideas for us for videos, or if you want to leave a comment on any of the videos, feel free, right down there. Just type it in. We actually had a comment from a Scottish guy about Peter's review of Raw from last week. Yeah, guys, feel free. We'll comment back. So, yeah, so that's all I've got for you. I think it's time for us to check out of the SmackDown Hotel, because I hear a bell ringing. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, ding. Oh, I hear it. So, we're out of here in 1, 2, 3. Alright, Petey, you know what to do, dog. Okay, the glare is frustrating. Pete, cut this part out. That should be better. There we go, that's better, looks like. Oh, no. We've got, obviously, the greatest show, and my Bluetooth speaker just decided to power off in the middle of that. Yeah, just better than Undertaker.